How much money have you made total?
Made as in kept or produced as in revenue? Because there's a big difference.
Produced, I would say revenue for yourself, like not even revenue for clients, revenue for yourself.
Close to 8 figures now.
Okay.
Didn't keep that though.
So what was the first thing you started building?
Building was, I guess, an agency.
Okay.
Like dropped out of college, and that was like the big thing. Like 2018 was like social media marketing and
MMA?
Yeah, because of Iman.
Yeah.
And then I hated that. I hated the fulfillment, and I was like, this sucks.
What did you fulfill on? What were you doing?
I was doing everything. I was doing web design. I was doing Shopify stores. Okay. I was doing funnels. I was doing webinars before that was a thing. I was doing literally everything because I didn't know what I was doing. And then the part that I was good at was sales. And that's that whole like sales story, whatever. And so I just started doing sales for people.
Were you a high ticket closer for somebody else, or did you just launch the program?
Oh no, I did for somebody else for sure.
Nice.
Yeah. So I sold obviously for myself, which was I think harder because I had to like not only generate my own deals, but I had to close my deals, and then I had to fulfill, and that's still sales, like maintaining a client. And then when I shut that down, I did, unlike a lot of people today, yes, I did actually close for people. I sold a real estate offer for $15K. The first call I hop on, the past closer had like burnt the lead, and the dude's like cussing me out. And then I was like a 20-year-old kid, didn't know how to speak, did not articulate myself. And I closed the guy for $15K like 30 minutes after he was like literally telling me to go fuck myself. So I was like, oh, I might be like pretty decent at this. And then I sold like this, it's kind of a scam, to be honest. I didn't know at the time, like the e-com investments. But it's to high net worth individuals.
Okay. Wait. Are you talking about like a Amazon automation kind of thing?
It was like that.
Yeah, okay.
But it wasn't to beginners. It was like $100,000 offer. And I was like selling that as like a 21-year-old kid.
Yeah.
So I like flew out to California for this company, slept on a crusty mattress in Long Beach with my brother, and was selling that. And I sold a few other offers. And then I was like, I'm not working for another person anymore.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And then after you decided that, what was the decision of like, I want to launch this high ticket?
Well, I had been documenting the whole thing.
Yeah.
So I did it like organically. Like I think I always planned on doing it because that's where like the real money is. Like I wasn't stupid. I could see who was making real money, and it was people teaching.
Yeah.
Your ceiling as a closer is like $30K a month. I hit that. And then I was like, well, how do I make more money? I didn't really know.
Yeah.
And so I'd been documenting that on Twitter. People started like reaching out. Hey, like, how'd you do this? Hey, can you help me? Whatever. And the sales space then, now it is like, horrible.
This is before Jeremy Minor. This is before like,
he
all these guys
existed.
They were not. He was not that big.
There was no. We were like for sure the first for the younger demographic.
Yeah.
Like 100%.
Yeah.
It didn't exist. Like Cole was going after the older people.
Mm-hmm.
You just had Cole on, right?
Yeah.
So like he was going after the older people. They were crushing at that time. And I launched in 2021, and there was no one for the younger demographic, and it just like it went. It was crazy.
So how fast, I guess, did you scale to?
So, I mean, dude, I moved to Miami. I was literally a closer before I launched the program. So I moved to Miami in June of 2021. August, I launched officially like Closer Cartel. We had sold like little tiny like mentorship spots or whatever before that. And the guy started getting like crazy results because at the time it was a completely untapped market. Everyone could get an offer. Like you literally sent a message, you got an offer. It was easy. And so everyone I helped like made really good money, and we had a crazy case study. I only had like 2,000 followers on Twitter at the time, but we had like insane momentum. This was like the heyday of money Twitter too.
Yeah.
So I moved to Miami in June. I was making like 30K a month. I had like 15K in the bank. I didn't even have much saved up because I spent a lot moving. And then I launched in August, and I made 70 grand my first month profit. And then the next month, 100. And then the next month, 120. And then it just
Did you feel like so yeah, I guess let's roll back from this frame. I think I've been doing this kind of like levels kind of conversation where I think it's helpful to kind of put some of these stories and some of your experience and like, I guess, tactics and some of these within each frame of different levels of making money. And so I think what probably makes the most amount of sense is starting from a level one, making $10,000 a month. I think that's the first kind of barrier. And it sounds like you accomplished that at 18 in high ticket sales. So tell me about like the process before that. I want to make $10,000, right? What did you do? What was like one thing that you essentially like had to shift in yourself to realize like, okay, I want to do this, and I'm going to make this happen?
Well, dude, I had like I think a different background than a lot of people. I didn't have internet growing up. So like I literally did not have access to anything at all. Like there was no, I can start a business. There was no YouTube. There was no learning. There was no even like Call of Duty. There was nothing.
Why did you not have internet?
Dude, we were poor and we lived in the middle of nowhere. Like I grew up on like legit welfare in the middle of nowhere.
There's poor, and then there's like no internet poor is a different type of poor.
Yeah. I mean, like we had clothes and stuff. Like I just posted the 2016 trend.
Yeah.
Like I had clothes, but like I would work all summer and I would buy clothes that would last me like the whole year. So we weren't like, because we were smart and we worked hard. So you can always, even if you're poor, you can still make money. Like I did construction, I did like farm work, whatever. But yeah, no internet. And we lived remote, like down this like country road. We couldn't even get internet if we wanted, I don't think. And so the first step for me was like, oh wait, business is a thing. Like I didn't know that was a thing.
What woke you up to it? Iman?
Yeah, it was Iman and Seb. And so like I just was on a ski trip with Seb.
Yeah.
You know Sebastian?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't met him, but
they're now like my best friends. I love these guys. They're like brothers to me. And it's super weird because I literally they were the two big ones I watched because they were, I had just started posting on YouTube. And so I'd watch them at school on the little Chromebooks during high school, like my senior year, because we had internet at school. And then I would go home and I just was like cut off again from the world.
What exposed you to them?
YouTube. I just like was like watching videos. I probably watched like something about a Lamborghini or something. And then the algorithm served me like how to make money. And I was like, oh wait, like business is a thing.
Yeah.
I had no idea. So yeah, step one for me was like, I didn't know it existed. So senior year, I found out about it. And then I moved to college with literally the intention of just to get internet and somewhere to like live outside of my hometown. I have no intention of like completing school or any of that. And then I dropped out like after my first semester.
In that, like, I guess the transferable skills to being like, okay, there's internet money. I feel like that sounds like, oh my goodness, this is so obvious.
Oh, it's easy.
Yeah.
Like, dude, I used to, like I played varsity football from like freshman year up, which like it's a small town. So don't think varsity of like some big AA school, whatever.
Not a cool jacket. Yeah.
I never even got a varsity jacket. Like, so I would do construction. I'd wake up at 5 a.m. I would do construction or like farm work or whatever, blue collar work. And then that was from like 5 a.m. to like 2, 3, 4 in the afternoon. And then I would go to 2-a-days football in the summers. And like, it doesn't sound that hard. That's way harder than clicking buttons on a laptop. Like it was miserable. Dude, it's hot in the summer in Ohio.
It was almost like a light switch, it sounds like, where it's like, hey, this is here. Okay, I got to do this.
Yeah.
Was the decision to leave your hometown a difficult one?
No. Well, I mean, dude, we were poor. So my dad's not a good guy. So I grew up from like, when did he get like removed? When I was like 12 or 13 or 14? I don't know. Like that's all like a blur in my memory. I can't remember.
Removed?
Oh yeah, just like crazy abusive guy. So like police removed him from my house one day. And then we obviously like had a restraining order, had nothing to do with him. So then it was like me, my mom, my brother. And then my papa was alive then. That was like our whole family. And so I even then I was like, if we don't want to live like this, someone's got to do something about it. Obviously, my brother is like 2 years younger than me. So he was still in high school. And then I was approaching like 18. I was like, you got to go somewhere. I was like, if I stay here, we are literally like dead. Like we have no money. There's no opportunity in Piketon. I was like, if I don't get out, we're fucked forever pretty much. Did you like resent your mom at all? Like, did you want her to move you guys? Like, I feel like the decision to, if you guys are a close-knit family in that regard, if you're like close with your mom, the idea of like, I'm leaving you to go figure this stuff out, I think that'd be a big decision. No, it is. Like, she was very sad, like that I was leaving, but I told her, I was like, hey, like, basically for me to save us in a sense, like it sounds like a cliche word, but like I have to go somewhere else for at least a little bit to then take you with me. Yeah. Like she lives here now. So I moved her down here. She lives in a nice house. My brother's down here as well. But like I literally told her, I was like, I have to leave to get you out. I think she understood. She was sad and like cried, but she's always believed in us for sure. Like there's never any doubt or anything. So
you were 18 and you decided to go to college? What college did you go to?
Wright State in Dayton, Ohio for a semester. Yeah.
And you got that I'm guessing that was just like your first thing of I got to shed whatever it was. I got to go to somewhere and that's close enough by, right? How far is that?
I mean, 2.5 hours away. Yeah. So not super close, but I mean, I literally was like, Wi-Fi, check. A dorm, check. There's a gym, awesome. And then I didn't even buy a car. I didn't bring a car with me. I sold my car that I had like piece of shit Cavalier, like $3 that I bought. But I sold that car to buy a laptop. And I was like, okay, I have Wi-Fi, I have a laptop. I have, how long is this semester? Like 6 months?
It's like, it's like 4 months.
Yeah. And I was like, I have X amount of time to make at least enough money to drop out. And that was the master plan.
So you were aware of through Iman, through Seb, like you were aware of some ideas of this. What were you going to school for?
Marketing.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm not joking. I went to get internet and to sit in my dorm. Like I have a full camera roll of like me in my dorm, waking up early in the morning, just watching YouTube, like just trying to self-educate. Because like you're not gonna learn anything at school. Like one of my professors worked at Papa John's on the side. I'm like, I'm not gonna learn nothing from you. So I was like, this place sucks.
What was that first thing that you sold that you were like, okay, sweet, now I can get out of this. Like I can drop out. I have the courage to drop out.
Well, I didn't have very much money when I dropped out. I didn't have much success. I was literally flipping stuff from TJ Maxx on eBay while I was in my dorm because there's like an arbitrage of price.
Yeah.
Dude, I was making like literally $100 a month. Like I was making no money and I was trying to get clients for what is called SMMA, but like I didn't understand what I was doing. I dropped out with like $500 to my name. And then my rent for that first month was $400. So I had like literally no money left. And then that's like a year of just like eating dirt basically. And then I finally got a client, which was a Shopify store like design for this fishing brand.
How'd you get
Instagram DMs. I DM'd this guy, was like, hey, your store sucks. And
Cold
he calls
DM.
me.
Cold DM.
Oh yeah.
So you're cold DMing people and you're the guy that insults people. You're the DM that insults.
Well, I didn't even mean to insult him, but it was like, I grew up fishing. So I really understood that kind of a person, like blue collar country guy.
Yeah.
Same Scott. God bless Scott. He like literally saved me. And I was like, hey, your store sucks. Your content's awesome. Like I'll build you a new one. And he calls me and is like kind of yelling at me. And he's like, okay, how much? I'm like, just pay my rent and I'll build it. And then he paid my rent. I built it. He sent me a bunch of other clients. And that was like my first ever, like, wow, I made like $3,000 in last month or something like that.
Did that, how did that feel? Did that feel like I'm no longer in poverty? Were you feeling like top of the earth? Or
Oh no, I'm still poor, but like,
did
I
you
could
feel
survive.
it though? Did you feel it?
Yeah, no, I felt poor, but I could survive.
Okay.
Because my rent was $400 in Dayton, Ohio. This place called The Province, I think. It's like drug dealers and it was dog shit. And I could survive for like 2 months. And then I was like, oh, now I can survive for 4 months. Now I can survive for 6 months, you know?
Yeah.
Just gradual.
So $3,000 a month, but you're doing SMMA. You're not making much money. Did you have a realization that SMMA wasn't the path?
Not really. I mean, that's how I made my first 100K and put like 20 grand or 30 grand in the bank. But
Made your first 100K for that first year.
Yeah. So like 2019, I think, I made 20K in January.
So wait, you were making enough money. You were getting referred clients. You were rebuilding Shopify stores and then probably doing God knows what else.
Yeah.
And you were like trying to be a one-stop shop. And were you good?
Yeah.
You were getting like decent results?
Yeah. Like decent stores. Like I'm creative. So I was like just figuring, I would literally sell something and then figure out how to do it.
Yeah.
And then repeat.
Which is a sign of great salesman.
Yeah, I guess. Well, that's where I realized I was like, I'm not good at really any of this. The only reason I'm making money is because I am literally selling it. Like that's it, you know? And then that just went on for the course of like a year. And made my first 100K. Yeah.
So did you have an ego at all during that time?
I mean, yeah, for sure. Probably. I think I'm a pretty egotistical person in general. Now I'm wise enough to like try to keep it in check and understand what is good ego versus bad ego.
Yeah.
I knew I was poor, but I probably was like posting cringy stuff on Instagram. It was like, like just, you know what I'm talking about, the new entrepreneur stuff.
Yeah.
I was like 18, 19 years old too.
Tell me about like, I think there's probably some people that resonate because I think what's nice about what your story is showing is like, I think your starting point was worse than other people's starting point. Like the disadvantage of not having Wi-Fi, this disadvantage of being in a, like, you know, like who knows what town. And then I think that I'm seeing like there's a couple things you're overcoming. Like obviously you kind of glossed over the dad stuff. I think that's big. I'm sure that's a massive thing because I think the level of responsibility you're feeling for your mom.
Oh yeah,
is huge.
For sure. Yeah.
Do you feel that for your brother as well? Is he kind of like on his own 2 feet?
I mean he's like doing great now, but yeah,
at the time
for a couple of years, yeah. Because like if I in the last 4 years or 3 years, whatever it's been, if I were to go broke, my whole family is like homeless. Like in my head, which like I'm sure we'd figure something out, but you know what I mean? That's like a real thought. So yeah, I mean, I definitely had to do a lot of responsible things at a young age.
That's a lot for an 18-year-old.
Yeah, but like, I mean, dude, you're a man. Like
I would say not many 18-year-olds are men.
Maybe not. I always just felt like, hey, you're a man. This is what a man does. Like, you just got to do it, you know? Like, there's no, like, I could give like a motivational podcast speech and whatever, but like at the end of the day, it was like, you do this or your family suffers. And for whatever reason, God chose you to be the older brother, and this is your responsibility, and you're in this situation. And I've always just been like, there's a reason for this. It might suck. Even still, like this last year, everything completely changing. That's a very similar feeling to what I had then. Even though I have money now and whatever, I'm still like, oh, I'm burning a lot of money. I'm starting a software company. I'm not doing this anymore. Still, my family dependent on me. It's the same thing, just at a different level. But even then, I'm just like, talk to God. This is how it's supposed to be, you know? I don't know. If like, dude, if you, like I think you're a Christian, right? I saw your stuff on, if you believe in God and you believe that he has your best interest at heart, which I do, then a lack of faith is just like disrespectful. Like, no matter how bad things get, if you actually believe in God, like God does not want the worst for you. Bad things will happen to you, but it's a lesson. And so I've always been in the lens of like, if this is happening, it's for a reason and it's for the betterment of something. I just can't see it. And so I'm just going to trust blindly.
Did you ever have like anxiety?
No, I'm like, this is where I get like canceled, is like, I think anxiety doesn't exist. I think it is a symptom of like, you're not doing something right. And it's like a symptom of like pain. Like pain is like, ow, I broke my arm hurts. That's your brain saying, hey, there's a problem here. I think anxiety, depression, all these negative emotions, I think is literally a symptom of you're not doing something right. And it's your body letting you know. I really do.
I would argue that I think that you became very matter of fact at a younger age than most people. I think I developed that. I developed that when I was 24. I was very emotionally charged, like excited, ups and downs, great days, bad days. And it wasn't until I was like 24 that I was like, I just shifted. Like I made an intentional choice of a worldview, and I was like, I'm not going to let this, like the shedding of the victim mentality. And again, like it's probably because if you're consuming that content, right, at a young age, a lot of Iman's stuff was like so much mindset driven, especially at that point. He was like, this is what it means to be a top 1% man. That's like his whole branding methodology is top 1% man. It sounds like you shed a lot of the opportunity for anxiety to exist because you're 12, 13, dad goes, and you're saying, okay, well, I got to wake up at 5. I'm going to play sports. I'm going to work.
Well, I felt it. This is the difference though, is what I'm saying. Like I still, 2025, I felt a lot of anxiety is the word for it. Yeah. But I don't identify with that. Yeah. It's like a feeling. Yeah. It's like, oh fuck, I'm burning $50,000 a month right now and I'm making zero money. Yeah. Because I literally stopped trying to make money for a year to just build something. That was very anxiety, stressful. Yeah. Stress, anxieties, whatever. You can call it whatever you want, but I don't identify with it. Like I'm not anxious.
You. Yes, it doesn't.
Yeah. I'm just like, I feel this because my brain is rightfully so freaking out because the math doesn't math of what's happening right now.
How much of a superpower is it to develop that at a young age? I'm thinking about guys like, again, the frame of making your first 10K, right? Like that's the number that I think is like a wake up point to a lot of people.
For sure.
Because it's like, you're talking about how you made $3,000 not in a job, right? You're selling stuff to people. And for you, that was like, sweet, I can live. I'm still in poverty, but I can live. The idea of making 10K is like, that's when you start to realize, oh, I'm beyond what the average is. And it seems like that's like a trait that's almost required. Is there any other trait that you think is like a requirement to be able to adapt and push yourself to get to that level, especially as a young guy?
I really just think it's all suffering, like, to be honest. Like it is all a game of how well can you suffer, which sounds like kind of masochist, whatever. But like genuinely, if I look at my whole life, it's been like intentional suffering. It's like, do I want to do this? No. Did I make myself? Yes. Does it suck? Yes. Do I still do it regardless? Yes. And then you like build that muscle of like suffering, whatever it is. Because like everything else at the end of the day, like, am I the most intelligent? No. Like I think I have a high IQ, but I'm not like a genius. I definitely like I'm talented at some things, but I'm not like special in a sense. Like there's a lot of people I know that are more talented than me at X thing or whatever. But like hardly anybody beats me at is like suffering. Which like, again, sounds cliche, sounds like podcast talk. But if you want something bad enough, it's 2026. You have AI, you have all this crazy stuff. Like I don't think there's any reason you can't do just about anything that you want to do. It's just dependent on how much will you suffer for it? How much will you try? How willing are you to just fail and eventually get it right? Because the brain is just like a learning mechanism. Like if you do it enough times, you will get it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think it's that.
Were you still friendless in that season? Like a lot of times I talk to some guys and they're like, yeah, I found one guy or I found some peer and they're like, we were locked in together and sweet. We were doing this. Like, were you alone in that same season?
Yeah. I had this roommate named Keon, this dude from Dayton. He would like literally drive me to the grocery store to get groceries because I had no car. So he like lived in this like Providence apartment with me. But other than that, no, I was by myself. Like there was 2 guys I tried to like do business stuff with. They gave up after like a week. I was 100% by myself for like 2 years.
Let's shape that. So like you went from 10K and then you made your first 100K. What was the transition point between that and being like, I need to get into sales? Because I see high ticket sales. That's a completely different thing.
Yeah. Well, I shut down the agency because like I was losing clients because I think I was just selling to people that I shouldn't have been selling to. And so those are the kind of people, it's like the naggy girlfriend, no matter what you do, you're wrong. It was like those kinds of clients. And so they were like asking for refunds because I built their webinar, but then I wasn't running their ads and then they would get no traffic. Like it doesn't work. I'm like, you have no traffic. You got to go post. And it just wasn't working. And so I was like, fuck this. I'm just going to, what can I literally had a kind of a reassessment of everything again. I had a nicer apartment then. I had like some money in the bank, but I was still kind of freaking out. It's in Dayton, but it's called Beaver Creek.
Okay.
And I was like, what am I good at? I'm pretty good at sales. Okay, I'm going to get a job selling, not a corporate job, but I'm going to get like a position selling for somebody. And then it was that real estate offer was the first one. And I did that for like a year. You would think you would do it for longer. I maxed it out in a year. Like I made 30K a month. Mathematically, with the amount of calendar space you have, unless you sell like a insane price tag offer, that's about the most you can make. And so I did that for the next year. And then it was the whole Miami arc of new life. And that was crazy.
The ego, I think, would come between the 10K and the 30K. I feel like it's like, I actually think it's also something with high ticket sales too. Like you have to have this absolute confidence just because you're going to get rejected so much. So how can you possibly get rejected so much and still be like, I can wake up and feel stoked about myself and be like, yep, this next call, I can get it.
Yeah.
Did you have that going into it?
I mean, again, like that's not something I thought about. It was just like, do I want to make money? Yes. What do I have to do? I got to take calls and then just do your best to close everyone you can. And then if they don't close, oh well. Like as long as you're doing good, like who cares? You know?
Talk to me about the people that you coached, like some of the people that came through the community and that, like, was that a thing that you tried to infuse? Or like from a cultural perspective of like, hey, don't stress about these things. Your job is to make this money.
Like when I used to do live calls back when like Close the Cartel was the main business, my calls were never about sales. They were about like that, like mindset. Sounds again so cliche, but it's very important.
It's
like
really not. I'm not gonna lie. Like I was just at a mastermind event and I was like, it's almost like I want to inject it in my veins because as soon as I get out of, like once I tap in to it and you're like, it sounds cliche if you're scrolling through your phone and then you see someone talking about it, or if you're just like in a state of watching podcasts or just like in a regular life. I know I'll go back home and, go to church tomorrow and see regular friends and, and it's going to be like, I'm going to feel, I'm not going to say demotivated, but I'm going to feel the pull to normalcy. And there's like a separation, a shedding that like happens that when I go to someone and I hear people that are like, not just one step ahead of me, but like 10 steps ahead of me, I'm like, oh my goodness, the gap.
Yeah.
This episode is brought to you by me. I have no sponsors for this podcast. This is entirely self-funded, and all I ask is that you please support the channel by hitting that subscribe button. I put over 100 hours and thousands of dollars into every single episode because I'm committed to making the best thing possible so that it's worth your time. My hope is that this is worth every second of energy that you give to it, and all I ask of you is that you hit the like and you hit the subscribe. Thank you. Now let's get back to the episode.
At the end of the day, everything comes down to the same stuff over and over. And the longer the time goes on, and I think the wiser that I get, I'm just like, it's so simple. We overcomplicate everything like to the max, when in reality, it's just like, don't be a bitch, work as hard as you can. Don't let your emotions dictate what you do. Congrats, you're successful, you know?
And it's funny how like that really is a differentiator between like everyone and anyone that anybody wants to be like.
Yeah.
I like how you phrase it, suffering.
Yeah.
What was suffering looking like from the process of, I want to stop making 30K a month and now I want to make, 100K a month? What was the separation
I moved I had never been on an airplane. When I flew to California for that sales role for like 2 weeks or whatever, that was the first time I flew on an airplane. That was like when I was 21. So I'd never left the country, never flown on an airplane. And then I was like, I'm moving to Miami. And my mom was like, what? And I'm like, I'm going to Miami. I see people on Twitter talking about it. Sounds awesome. I'm going. So I came and visited. I came down with this girl that I had like been seeing in Ohio. And then I visited and was like, yep, I'm moving here. Like the first time I drove through Brickell, I was like, I need to be here. And so I packed up all my shit in a truck and shipped it down here and moved down. And I had like 15K in the bank. And my rent was like $4,000 or something.
For a 1-bedroom.
It was a bedroom and a den.
Nice.
It was the building on top of Whole Foods when you come off the exit going into Brickell, Monarch.
Yeah.
So that was, you talk about suffering. It was fun. Like it changed my life, and I saw all this new shiny stuff, and I saw like Lamborghinis for the first time and went on a yacht and all this. That's not suffering. That was fun. But I think the whole like, do you have balls big enough to be like, you know what? I'm leaving my entire family, going, how far of a drive is that? 20 hours away by myself. I know nobody in the city. That was a little suffering.
Was retiring your mom always a part of the plan?
Oh yeah. I have YouTube videos like 2019 talking about like, I'm going to do this. This is my whole goal. She hasn't worked since 2022. I can't remember the time. It's like melded together.
You moved to Miami and you're kind of saying like the pain of staying versus the pain of going. I'm going to go for the pain of going. Was it the same time that you were transitioning to doing your own offer?
Yeah. So I moved in June. August, I launched like my first business outside of like an agency or something. Like, it was info. It was Closer Cartel, 70K, like boom. And I was like, holy
From 2,000
shit.
followers on Twitter.
Yes. I had nothing on Instagram. I had no YouTube.
What was the offer? What was the price point?
I think we originally launched like $2,000. I think it ended up climbing to 5K. That was like the money spot that we stayed at for years. But I think it was $2,000 when we started. So was that like 140 people or something? And
the goal was, okay, everybody in this, I'm going to teach you how to do your high ticket sales. I'm going to help you find a gig.
Exactly.
Doing high ticket sales.
Yeah. And then that initial group from those first couple months, like built the industry. Like everybody you see talk about this now and whatever, other than like obviously the young kids that were in high school at that time. A lot of them were in that at one point.
The first month, 70K. Second month, 100K?
Yeah, like 100. Yeah, because September, I remember I went to a dinner with this guy who is a scammer that I did not know at the time was a scammer. And I was naive because I had no idea that the world existed. He was leasing all of them. He was scamming everybody on like e-com automation, and he should be in prison right now, but he got lucky because this thing he got charges pressed for, he got the person to drop them. But anyway, he took me to a dinner and was trying to like flex me on his story of like, oh, I helped him make his first, you know what I'm talking about? Like, oh, this is my mentee.
Yeah.
You didn't fucking teach me anything. You taught me what not to do. But yeah, that was September. So it was 100K. And then it just climbed. We averaged 100K for like average. Obviously we had months where we did 200 or 230 or whatever. For like 3 years.
And was it a one-time ticket or was it MRR?
I should have made it MRR. Biggest mistake in my life. It was one time.
Yeah.
So we literally just yesterday, because I can't run it anymore the way it was. Like you can't do coaching forever because it's very expensive for me to pay people. I did a call with the community and was like, hey, I got to make this a low ticket subscription now. If you want to stay, awesome. Like nothing changes for you. You keep everything you paid for, but like ongoingly rather than kill it, I just made it $55, which is the price of a Kendo subscription. So we just tied them together.
Nice.
So that I don't have to like do anything to it, but there's 120 hours of content that exists.
Yeah.
And so it's like my happy medium of like keep it alive and,
yeah,
you know?
Yeah. So tell me about, I can't imagine starting where you started and then jumping to a point where within 6 months.
It was insane, bro. And at that time, people were not making money like that. Like my friend Mason, you know Mason.
Yeah.
Mason was telling me the other day, he's like, dude, you were making like buku money before anybody was making money in info. And I just thank God that it did not destroy me because I actually never fell into bad stuff at all. Never did drugs. I mean, I love mushrooms, but like that's not a drug. Like I never did drugs. I never got into the clubbing.
You weren't going to 11?
I've been to 11 like 3 times, I think. I hate it. It's like so demonic. I never got into that stuff.
So you went, because again, let's talk about the perception too, because I think the come up being so quick and being like, okay, I'm going from, I am not industry known, but I've been documenting, so there's a lot of trust. I maximized that trust, and to be honest, made 70K, which at the moment, especially if you're going from 70 to 100 to 120, 130, I can't imagine what that would do to my ego.
It definitely inflated my ego. There was I started, and this was just, it's because how Twitter and marketing and everything is. I definitely started to have to play a part of this like character, which everyone in info does. Yeah. Which I didn't like. That's been a lot of like the last 2 years is me like destroying that guy because I don't like that guy. I
want to talk about that.
Yeah.
Because I think like, I want to tell you about, I had a perception of the character because I definitely thought it was fake. But I thought on some level it was real, but it was like in the same association with Iman, lifestyle influencer, selling like the perception of what the lifestyle is versus actually selling the tactics.
You know why? Because no one gives a fuck about the tactics. I tried the tactics. No one cared.
What do you mean?
I have always, I'm like a very truth-based person. I can't even lie to myself. So if I do something out of alignment with myself, I can't do it. It makes me so uncomfortable. And so I always tried to, because I was actually good at sales. Like now, the whole high-ticket sales space is just garbage. Yeah. I don't know what the fuck they're talking about. I was actually good. And so I tried to teach tactics. I tried to teach, here's how you actually understand psychology. Here's how to actually handle objections. Not like, can I offer you a perspective on that? Yeah. Like, what do you do if the guy says no? Like, that's not going to work, you know? No one gave a fuck. No one cared. That was why I started to hate info, was because I couldn't actually teach people sauce. Now on the new offer I can, because AI is like cool and technical. But at the time, no one cared. I would drop a banger video that like I could have sold because it was so good. 1,000 views. I post my car with a chick in it from Miami, like 1 million views. Like it was so aggravating. But you're right. I had to. Like that's how it is.
I'm remembering like you did a bunch of like gun range vids.
That's authentic.
That's real.
Yeah, that's real. That's real.
Because because I saw it as almost like you were kind of monetizing the same red pill kind of demographic of like masculinity maxing.
Yeah, which I mean that's authentic too. Like I think the red pill stuff is super gay, but I don't like partying. I don't like drinking. I don't even like hanging out with girls like I was. Like literally all of these worldly things that I was posting, I don't like. And so I had to like...
Did you have to experience them in order to decide that?
Yeah, I think that's with everything for sure. But when you grow up and you start to realize like, oh, that's bad. Like that's not good for me. It's not good for my soul. I'm not leading a good example for people. Then I started to like hate it. And I was like, this is not fucking good. Like I got to stop.
And the people are probably pulling you out, right?
Oh yeah, dude. When I first moved here, I was friends with like all kinds of people that were like in the nightlife. Not like I didn't go to clubs, but like this DJ would invite me on this like yacht party. Or when crypto was big in 2021, Miami was a different place then. I'd get invited to some crazy crypto thing and hang out with like the Phase guys. Yeah. Just crazy shit. So yeah, that was like everywhere.
So did you upgrade your apartment as well? Or did you did you go penthouse at all?
No, not a penthouse. I'm still financially intelligent. So I was like, I'm not spending $15,000 on rent. That's retarded. I'm not doing that. So I moved from like Monarch to Solitaire.
You bought a $120K car. So
yeah, but that car made me $1 million.
Tell me about that. How does that work out?
Dude, it's lifestyle marketing. That car, legitimately, I bought that car right after the 70K month. I actually literally made 70K and was like...
the first month, that August.
Yeah, and I was like, you had
15K in your bank account.
Dude, I'd been poor forever and I always wanted a car, and I was like, I just made 70,000. I look at my bank account, I'm like, it said like 105 or something. I was like, I can put 30 down on a car. So I went and bought the car on a Sunday. I went on a Sunday to just like look at it. And then the sales guy like totally got in my head. Yeah. And the car made me a lot of money for sure. Yeah.
So was that part of the character as well? Or were you just like,
yeah, well, I mean, like, dude, I'm a marketer. Like, I understand marketing. I understand people very well. And I was like, people hate me because I'm doing these things that they wish they could be doing. So I'm going to like push the gas on that.
And it worked too. Because converting, because essentially all the guys that you were attracting, let's think about like the demographic, let's think about the TAM. Like, what do those guys want? They want lifestyle. Mm-hmm. What do those guys want? They want girls. What do they want? Cars. Yeah. And so if you're a teenager, like, you're the very reason that you're following Seb and Iman, it's like, it's not that they're necessarily pushing all the girl stuff, but like they're pushing lifestyle.
Yeah.
Not necessarily
you had to, and that's the bad part of info is if you don't play by like the meta, you don't win. Like now the meta is literally like fraud. Like it's that's why I stopped. I was like, I don't want to play this game. I don't want to go lease a Bugatti from Cario and pay $60K a month for it. Yeah. And then claim I just bought a Bugatti at 25. Yeah. I'm not doing that.
Well, actually the move is to get equity in exotic car rentals. That's the move.
Dude, it's...
So then you can say you own all the cars when you own an equity
The meta share. Was like, scam, not doing that. Yeah. So I'm done.
Did you feel like you were the top guy for that season of life? Did you feel like, okay, because like you're like even, I don't know exactly what Mason was doing. I think he was doing like $450 a month at one point.
Well, that was like recently. That was like the last 2 years. Yeah. At that time, yes. Like in Miami, in my friend group, in everybody I knew online, other than like Iman and the guys that like were ahead of me, started earlier, I was like lapping people.
What did it feel like to meet some of the guys that you looked up to?
Oh, dude, it was awesome. It was super awesome.
Tell me some stories about that.
Like Sebastian followed me on Twitter randomly, and then I think I DM'd him, was like, hey, dude, I've watched your stuff forever. Like, you're the man. And then he was like, hey, I'm coming to Miami. We should meet up. We went to dinner, and then that was like that dude is like my brother. Like, I don't know how to explain it. Like, we were brothers from another mother, and we just clicked. And then Iman DM'd me on Twitter in like 2021 or 2022 and was like, hey, I'm rooting for you, just something nice. And then I flew to Dubai for his mastermind. We met in person for the first time, became really good friends. I will never be somebody that's like, I'm better than the people that put me on kind of thing. Yeah. Like, obviously they're just posting content, but if it wasn't for them, I would not have had like the inspiration or even the ideation of like, this is possible. And so I tell them all the time, I'm like, I owe you guys like a massive debt. Like, I genuinely owe you guys.
I think everybody has that person. I've talked to a bunch of people about this recently. Like, for me, it was a podcast. It was Alex Ramosi on Iced Coffee Hour. I think it was like the second pod they did. And he talked about this concept of happiness. And I listened to that podcast, and then I listened to it again and cried. And then I showed my wife, we listened to it together. And then I listened to it again by myself and wrote down notes. And I was like, I literally like, it was, that moment woke me up from like a victim mentality. And so I attribute, like, I even like anytime we sell something, I just give them the money. Yeah. And I'm like, it's almost like a penance. Yeah. Like I'm not touching any of your products. Like, I don't, it's like, I can't use this, and it's like not helpful for me, but like, I just attribute so much of everything like all the worldview. And I talk to some people and it's like, you know, some guys that's Luke Belmar, some guys it's Andrew Tate, some guys it could be older, it's Gary Vee, you know, it could be Tony Robbins, like John Maxwell. Like, every single person has that. Like, John Maxwell was Dan Martell's guy, you know, and almost everybody at some point or another is Tony Robbins' guy. So it's like you find these people that are like
Tony.
Like, a lot of these trees kind of stem. When did you realize that you were that person for some other people?
I mean, that's a blessing, first off, is like even being in the position to have that. But I started getting DMs from kids that were like, dude, I'm in like X situation. I like resonated with this thing you said or this story or whatever. And I just decided to do this or change my life, or I just bought your program. And then I talked to them on a Zoom call. Like, in Miami now, like there's these guys like Gavin, Sai, Sandro. There's a bunch of other ones. They are now like in our friend group, like they moved to Miami. got into this whole world because of Closer Cartel. Like they bought a course from me and then became like my best friends and now live in Miami and hang out with us. Like they're literally the boys, you know? That's cool. Like that's really cool. Again, do your best to do the right thing and like build actual stuff and not just LARP and whatever. You will find people that are supposed to find you, if that makes sense. Like there's like, I was the Iman and Seb for those guys. And now they're probably going to go on and do the same thing for somebody else. Yeah. It's like a spider web. It's really cool. Super cool.
When did you make your first million?
2022, early. Cause I made from August to December that first year, I think I made like 650 grand.
Yeah. And it was almost all profit because you didn't have coaches and stuff
Well,
at the time.
I started to reinvest heavy. Yeah. So, and I was living in Miami and blowing money like nobody's business. So, bro, that's the biggest regret ever. Now that I run a real business in my head, that's like real business, not info. Oh, I spent so much money that I should have. Dude, cars. I've also paid for my mom's rent and everything for the last 3 years. My rent.
So in that first 6 months, that was when you said you retired.
Yeah, early 2022, I had saved up like multi-six figures and was like, this is enough. Like my mom is doesn't need anything. Yeah. So easy to take care of. She's not an expensive woman. She's not like that. So I was like, hey, quit your job, move to Miami. I'm going to get you a house. Like I can afford it.
What did that feel like?
It was awesome. But it was actually like, I talked to Iman about this because he had the same thing. When you like pull your mom who's had all this trauma out of what she's known, even if that's not the good thing, it was like hard for her moving down here. She was like overwhelmed. She was obviously very grateful, but was so overwhelmed that it like broke my heart because I didn't think she was grateful the way she was like acting about it. Which like now I can understand. She was like literally never left Ohio. Like this is a whole new world. Everyone speaks fucking Spanish. The roads are insane. Like it was not what we're used to. And so that hurt really bad. Very rough.
Did you ever have like, tell me if this is too sensitive, but did you ever have like hatred towards your dad?
Oh yeah. I mean, nothing is off topic because I think now like the whole point of all this bad shit happening to me is because it's a lot more relatable. I don't know if relatable is the word. Okay. I'll give you an example. There's two versions of myself. One comes from money, has a nice family, like has a family, and is successful. And then there's the version of me that exists now, which is like awful shit, still becomes successful, has a nice family, has a nice life. Who is more inspiring? Obviously this guy.
Yeah.
To everybody else. Who provides more value to people just by existing? That guy. And so now maybe this is wrong, maybe it's just the way I like rationalize it in my head. I look at it as like all this bad stuff happened because you were capable of getting through it. So God was like, here you go. You're basically like David going into the wilderness for 13 years, you know, like hardship. So I don't like the guy. I don't wish anything well for him. I think I'm become mature enough now that I'm like, I'm not going to give you my energy, like whatever.
Have you had any interaction with him?
No. No. We had a restraining order and then the judge tried to make us do like visitation, which was insane. The court system is so fucked up. Like this guy literally like beat the shit out of all of us. And then the judge was like, oh no, you need to go talk to your dad. And then like we had to go in the security room with a panic button with this guy. I'm like, this is insane. But no, piece of shit, horrible human being. But I try not to be resentful because obviously that's like a negative emotion. It's not good for you. But
who is a paternal figure in your life?
So there's this guy named Joel Shepard who was my science teacher. Amazing guy. He was my science teacher in 8th grade and then my track coach. And his wife was an elementary school teacher. And so they had like known who we were growing up. My mom was a substitute teacher. That's what she did to make money in high school. And so she was subbing at the elementary school one day. And I think somehow Billy was his wife. She was also a teacher. Somehow they talked and then they heard about like what had been happening in our life. Like the whole court thing, my dad, we're fucking poor, like all this nonsense. And then like Joel's a good Christian guy. Dude, one day I'm in the bathroom at school. I'm taking a piss. He stands beside me and goes, hey, you want to hang out sometime? And I'm like, is this like a pedophile? Like, what are you talking about?
That's
Dude, I was in 8th grade. I was like, what the fuck?
Does not paint a good picture of this guy.
Yeah. He just was like, just very casual.
Yeah.
And then so he was like, hey, like we should get dinner sometime. And I was too young to understand what he was trying to be a father figure and to like help me.
Yeah.
Like God bless him, bro. I was too young to understand. He was like, hey, let's hang out sometime. Let's go get barbecue.
Yeah.
And so we went to like this city called Chillicothe. We went and got barbecue. He would like take me to Menards, which is like a Home Depot kind of store. Cause he was like building his new house that they live in now. And so he would make me work. He was like making me work, and he would like pay me a little bit to work. We'd like build something in his house or like work on something, or I'd stack firewood or split firewood with him or whatever. And what he was, now I know, he was just trying to like make me into a good man, basically, and give me a good example. Like he's married, great family, great kids. He's not the principal of like the neighboring school in my county. So he was for sure. And then my papaw was a great guy, was a great man. He died like 2 days before Christmas in 2021. That's all I had though, was Joel. That was it. It was my mom.
Do you think, did they do an effective job of teaching you how to, like, because it sounded like, I'm just saying, like, you have these characteristics that were self-taught, but I'm like, what example was there of you being like this?
There wasn't. I mean, my mom is a wonderful mom. She raised great
So
men.
she had to wear that hat.
Oh yeah. She's very soft, feminine. Like she's not like this manly figure, whatever, but she grew up very conservative, grew up Christian. So she gave us those values. But I really attribute like most of it to, obviously there were people like Joel, my mom, but I think it's God, bro. Like I don't know.
But I'm saying it's so crazy that you would, like, even if you went through a phase, that you would end up with a good head on your shoulders. Because what doesn't make sense is to experience those things, to not really have a good grasp or be taught a good grasp or have an example of what masculinity should look like, what being a good solid man should look like, and then be handed a shit ton of money.
Well, not true, because if you see complete opposite of what's supposed to be, you just do the opposite of that. It's like my dad is not the example. My dad was a horrible example of masculinity. Narcissist, abusive, manipulative, liar, bad character, bad morals, lazy, like all these things. I was like, I am not going to be that. So I'm going to go to the opposite, which is, again, still an example, you know? Like Charlie, I'm sure you like have heard the Charlie Munger thing. He's like, history's lessons are literally like a rule book for what not to do or what to do. And that for me was like, don't be that guy. Like, let's go the other way. Yeah. You know, but again, I don't know. It is crazy.
So in 2021, 2022, you're making a crap ton of money. What was the peak of that? There's a peak and then a drop off.
I mean, dude, it went till 2024, to be honest.
A few solid years of being like, this is my thing. Were you passionate about the whole time? Did you hate sales?
No, I started to get burnout because like sales is only so complex, and I started to get super repetitive, and then info started to like not be genuine with me because I was like, I don't want to play the character. Posting real value, no one cares. So I'm basically forced to kind of play the lifestyle thing to make money, and then it became like I'm not making money as a byproduct of what I'm building. I'm making money as a byproduct of like playing the meta, which was like bullshit.
I think Rob the Bank's kind of doing that too. I think he's kind of leaned into the character arc of it. I'm curious if he likes it or not. I think he might like, I want to talk to him because I think he might be like entrenched in it. I think he actually feels it. I think it's like part of his personality now.
Dude, you don't know. Like I literally became this guy, like,
which was kind of a villain. You kind of like you're intentionally trying, like, it's a Logan Paul, like it's a heel, like you're trying to be like a WWE heel, where it's like, I want to be this figure that's kind of hated, but you also are jealous of, and then the real people are going to buy from me. Yeah, because the real people that respect me are going to be the ones that buy.
Yeah, it's not now looking at it, it's not a game that I want to play. Like I would rather be poor than do that, to be honest.
Why? They're not a net negative? Like, you also saw the impact of the people that actually came to the
Yeah, we like I don't have guilt. I don't have like imposter syndrome. I am actually very proud of what we did because we literally had changed the lives of like thousands of young men, like positively. But I did not want to be that guy. Like, I looked at it and I'm like, I just turned 25 last year. I'm about to turn 26 February, and I was like, if I am still doing this at 30 years old, I'm going to shoot myself. I'm like, I can't do this. And so I had to drastically change. Like, it was not, Like I want to be clear. I don't have guilt. I don't have like, oh, we scammed people and now I'm like this righteous guy.
No, but it's different. It's like, I think there's a clear difference between the character and the product. Because the character is like, it's a mascot. It's like, you have to represent something. But at the same time, what's so interesting is you're representing a type of masculinity that probably all these guys wanted to be like, and charisma. Dude, like I remember some of your tweets. You used to be like, it's like every like 4 months, you'd be like, I'm about to start a new arc. Be like, what is this? What is this bullshit? Like, what is he about to, like you say that, like, it was like you said that, and then you'd post something crazy right afterwards. Yeah. It would be like, you're like, no guys, seriously, I'm turning over a new leaf right now. And then you do some like diabolical, like.
Oh, dude, I've posted some crazy shit on Twitter. Like.
Well, so tell me about it. So like, once you decided I can't do this anymore, I think it's hard to say no to the money. And then it's also like there's burnout, and then burnout with like, I'm really successful. And so when you lose passion for what you're wanting, like what was that in 2024? What was that?
2024.
Like, yeah. What was that like?
I just like, content is obviously a driver of the whole business.
Yeah.
I was so done making content. Like I didn't post very many YouTube videos. I didn't like what I was talking about. I wasn't passionate about sales. It's fucking sales. It's a skill. Like it's a part of business. And I had to then make it the whole everything. No, like, dude, it's easy. Like it's not that hard to be good at sales. And so like, imagine if you are a person that has like this much talent and then you have to box yourself into this. I felt like that. And I was like, I became resentful. I was like, I hate this. I think 2024, we still made like $1 million plus. Like revenue.
Yeah.
But then at that time, the team had grown really big. My expenses had grown really big. I was making no money, even if we made like 100 something grand a month. Like I was making nothing. And then I kind of just went through that year. That was a bad year. 2024 was like the worst mental health year I've had, I think, ever.
What does it look like for you?
Like depressed, the feeling of depressed, which is like, I just don't care about any of this. I'm not happy. I don't feel fulfilled. Like for me, and I found this out in 2025, even though it was a hard year, and it was probably the most stressful year I've had since like the early days, it was the most fulfilling year that I had. And I really realized last year, I was like, I can do anything as long as I actually care about what I'm working on. Like I will go through whatever amount of pain. I do not care. I don't care what happens to me. As long as my mom is taken care of, I don't give a fuck. Like I'll live in a box. I don't care. But fulfillment is like very important to me. Like that's what I've learned. 2024, I had no fulfillment. It was like, I'm doing this business I don't give a fuck about because I have to make money, because I have to live and I have to pay for all this bullshit. And so 2025, dude, I sold a bunch of shit. And again, people will be like, oh, it's because you go broke, all the info, money's. No, I'm still making good money. But I was like, I don't deserve to have this G-Wagon. I've never built anything good. Like, what have I built? A course? An info product? It's bullshit. And so I was like, I'm going to build a software company. I'm going to build a real business. To do that, I'm going to have to eat shit for a long time, for a year. I have to make no money. I'm going to have to stop making content, and I'm going to have to focus on this new thing and literally build it from zero. And so that's what I decided to do. And I sold my G-Wagon, which also needed like $30,000 in maintenance, because it was like the new cycle of like brake pads and all that. I was like, this is retarded. I'm not doing that.
How many cars did you have?
Just G-Wagon. I've never been like the multiple car guy. Because again, if I had fallen into that trap, I would have literally probably gone bankrupt. If I had done the whole info guy, multiple cars bullshit over an inflated lifestyle, dude, I would have been poor. I made no money in 2025.
Yeah.
We still made a couple $100,000, but like to me, no money is like not what I was used to, you know? So thank God. But yeah, a lot happier in 2025. A lot happier.
You're saying you didn't really experience imposter syndrome, but it sounds like you did.
No, I wouldn't call it imposter.
You're saying like, I didn't deserve this. I didn't build a real business. So I didn't deserve this.
Well, yeah, because info rewards like the incorrect things. Like info and I don't say info as a whole, because obviously BizOp is different than whatever. Like for example, AI Insiders now is awesome. I love it. It's focused around AI. It's high level guys. It's sick. Like I'm having a lot of fun with that. But the info that I was doing, like the low ticket, BizOp, mass market, lifestyle thing, you're rewarded for being a dumbass. Like that's not good, because then your feedback loop as a person becomes, oh, the dumber shit that I do, the more money I make, do more. And then eventually you're going to destroy yourself. Like look at like, we don't gotta say any names, but look at literally everybody you know about right now.
I'll say the names.
They're fucked. Like, they don't realize it yet. Even if they're making good money, they are so fucked because the second people get bored of them, the second the shiny object game starts, it's like streaming. They're fucked.
You're talking about how faith kind of became relevant. Was it the same time in 2024, 2025?
Well, I think again, I believe I have faith. Therefore, I think faith and fate are kind of like this. I think you can still control your, like, you have freedom of will, obviously, but I think like there is a plan for your life, and so I believe it, and so I was like, I feel so anti what I've been doing. There's a reason for that.
Yeah,
and I prayed a lot. I like sat and thought a lot.
Were you a believer beforehand?
Like
would
in
you
Christ?
say? Would you be like, yeah? Were you like a Jesus believer before this?
Yeah, 100%. I just wasn't behaving like it in 2021, 2022, 2023. Like I would still, like, got into my head. I would still like.
You would say like, yeah, I believe in Jesus.
Yeah,
because I would almost argue like if it didn't influence your actions aggressively, then it's like there's not much evidence. And I'm curious about if you had this, I'm not going to say come to Jesus moment, because I think it can be very gradual. Like it's an ebb and flow. Like I feel closer now. This feels like a more spiritual season. And it's usually tied to being like, I'm assessing more and I'm more scared, or I'm dealing with the feeling of depression, the feeling of anxiety. And so I'm responding to that, and I'm going to pray as a response to that. Was there like a come to Jesus moment, or was it like over the course of that year, like this is just something I'm going to value more in my life?
There were both. So, like when I first started this, I remember being 18, like one specific night, because I remember the song I was listening to, and I remember praying and being like, hey, if you get me to this situation so that I can take care of my family and I'm not poor and we're not in this situation, I will never like switch up on you. Like I will always give you credit, and I will be basically like a messenger and an example for you. And then I think I kind of got carried away once I got that of like 2021, 2022, 2023. Even though I still talked about God, I never was like anti-God or anything like that. Sure. I just wasn't necessarily fully living the way I should have been. And then 2024 in July, one of my childhood best friend died. I hadn't talked to him in like a while. He went to military, so we were like completely different, separate lives, whatever. And then, dude, I had like I think it was a panic attack. I was like trying to quit nicotine, like the pouches. And I remember I got off of a team call. I went and got in the shower. This is like going to sound super schizo, by the way, so prepare yourself. I went, got in the shower, and I literally felt like I've never, ever, ever, ever had a panic attack, anxiety, none of this. Dude, I felt like I got hit by a truck all of a sudden and like fell down in the shower. Like I don't know how to explain it. It literally felt like I got slammed by something. And I remember looking down at like I can see it in my head. Again, sounds super schizo. Was not on substances. I don't do drugs. Was fully sober. I was quitting nicotine. That's the only thing. It's like what nicotine withdrawal, I guess. I remember seeing like my arm, I swear to you, like split open and like blood pouring down the drain. And I was like, I immediately had these like voices in my head that were like, jump off your balcony, like shoot yourself, like crazy shit. Never in my life had that happen before. I was still like, I don't know what the word is, resilient enough to be like, this is not my thoughts. Like, this is not me. I don't know what it was, bro. I have no idea. And I remember I lay in the bottom of the shower for like an hour. I can't breathe. My heart's pounding out of my chest. No reason. There was no event that provoked this. Was making good money that month. I have no idea. I get out of the shower and I just start praying, and I'm like, God, I have no idea what's happening. Like, no clue what's going on. I live really high up in my building. And so I go into my living room and I turn my camera on, because I was like, I need something to like look at me. I don't know if that makes sense. And dude, I'm praying. Voices are like bombarding my head, just like an outside attack, if that makes sense. And this big ass blue butterfly. I live really, really, really high up on the water, super windy all the time. Like nothing can fly, you know what I mean? This big ass blue butterfly lands on my window and just is like looking at me. And I'm like, that's weird. Like that's really, and then the voices stopped. And then I felt completely fine. And I was like, and again, it sounds schizo.
It doesn't.
I didn't like see things that weren't there. Yeah. Like I've never hallucinated, but I was like, that was in a really bad time, like that July. That was the culmination of like, I was like, felt depressed. I hated my business. My best friend died. And then that happened out of the blue. And then I was just like, I was like, what the fuck? I had no idea. I think I have this on camera too.
Don't you think, doesn't that sound like spiritual warfare?
No, it is. Like, dude, I fully believe in that stuff.
Yeah.
But so at that point, the message I got from that was basically like, hey, you're like dipping too far into this side of things. And it's like grabbing a hold of you. That's kind of what I got from it. And so from there, I was like, July to December, business still made money because I just had momentum, but I like quit doing everything. I quit content. I just read a lot of books. I read the Bible a lot. I would sit on my balcony and just think, because I never thought I'd been so fast paced for 4 years. And then that led into 2025 when I decided to launch Kendo and everything. So I know how crazy that sounds. Like, dude, it sounds super schizo. I've never even seen that shit on mushrooms before. And I've done mushrooms like 50 times. I was freaking out. That was the weirdest thing that's ever happened to me.
Yeah, I mean, I think that doesn't sound crazy. I think I've had experiences like that where I think it's like I just feel like heavy.
Yeah.
I've not had like a butterfly thing where it feels like there's like a response to whatever that prayer is.
That was the first like visual thing I've ever, like I've always heard God, if that makes sense. Like when I was 18 and I'm broke and I would pray and talk to God, like I would hear him.
Yeah.
But I've never seen anything like that other than I think I've met a couple people that were like I would tell my mom's like, that's an angel. And I'm like, okay. But I'd never seen anything, but that was really weird. Like, dude, it was like, imagine noise, noise. I look at this butterfly, it stops.
Yeah.
I was like, that's really weird.
Yeah.
But then from there, so basically I forgot my point. When I was 18, I remember I had this conversation with God and was like, I believe in you. I'm not going to like go get these worldly things and then just switch up, whatever. And I remembered this around that time when that happened and when I was praying a lot and like kind of more quiet in my mind and with my thoughts. And I kind of just like heard this thing that was like, hey, like I got you here. And I remembered and I was like, oh, like you did. Like I'm literally living the life I dreamed of. And I don't know if I've been necessarily as grateful of that as I should have been or whatever the word is. And so from there, it was more intentional. I was like, okay, I got to start living like this. I got to start living a lot better.
What does that mean?
Do you know Pastor Anthony Mitchell?
Yeah.
Yeah, that guy's awesome.
I love Philip Anthony Mitchell.
I love that guy. So like he did a whole sermon on it. It's like the fruits, you know? Like a tree without fruit is like, you're not a tree, you know? Like, what are you doing? You can't reproduce. Like that's the analogy or the metaphor.
Yeah.
Like the olive tree or whatever that tree was when God like smited the trees, like you suck.
Yeah.
I just really started to think and I was like, do I believe in this? Yes. Okay. Do my actions necessarily align with what I say I believe, or am I being a hypocrite? And they didn't. And so I was like, I need to act like, obviously we're always going to fail. Like we're always going to be sinful. We're always like, that's the whole point I think of Christianity is like, hey, you are going to mess up and this is why. But I don't know, dude. I don't know how to explain it. Like I feel like I love business. Business is my thing right now, but I feel like there's a bigger vision for what I'm supposed to do in life. And I don't know what that is. What
changes, like, to paint me the picture of like who you were before? Because even if we say it's progressive, I think my faith has been progressive as well. Like I think I definitely had a moment where I gave my life to Jesus when I was 12 or 13. And then I got baptized and I felt that, like I felt being saved. And then ever since then I've had plateaus, hills and valleys of like more faith, less faith. And I think there's even the past 3 years have been like a constant where I feel a constant foundation. Cause I think I had the season where I really questioned God and questioned truth. And I wrestled with it. And I really, really, like I was willing, growing up in the church, growing up with the dad as a pastor, like I was okay with being like, I don't believe this. I remember there's one point I was talking to one of my pastors and I was like, I think if my dad died right now, I'd probably stop believing in Jesus. And I meant it. And it wasn't until I woke up, and I think I had this month where I woke up and I've been awake ever since. But I definitely see the gradual aspect of it. And I see both failures and fruit. I guess what I'd ask you is like, what is the difference in your life, you living in this purpose and in this calling of I want to be vocal about this versus who you were before? Because
I never did a lot of crazy stuff, so it wasn't like I had to like 180 my life.
Yeah,
but it was just a lot of like intentional.
There's a lot of, I think there's a lot of things where it's like a little
dude,
shift.
that is the slippery slope of like evil. Is like it starts off as this little harmless thing, like, oh, I'm just gonna have a drink. Oh, now I'm having like 3 drinks. Now I'm hammered. You know, it's like the same with everything else.
What's been the shift since 2024 of like what you are doing, of being like, this is how I'm actually practicing and trying to apply fruit?
Yeah. Like the biggest thing is probably just the frame of like, I want to be a good example for people in like a real way. Like I made a whole YouTube video about something related to Jesus just randomly at like 2 a.m. earlier last year. And I was like, this is something people need to hear, not this bullshit. So I posted it. I made it. Because I told God, I was like, listen, if you help me actually do things in life, like I will glorify you and I will do these things for you. And I will be like the best messenger, champion, whatever you want to call it, that I possibly can. But I can't do those things if I'm just some like random guy. You know what I mean?
I'd argue against that.
Well, I agree with you. But like think of Phil Robertson, for example. If Phil was just this guy in Louisiana, you know about Phil?
Yeah.
I love Phil. Could he have impacted as many people as he did if he hadn't have done like the TV show and became who he became?
Yeah. I guess my argument is that I think there's different callings for different people.
Yeah.
And I think I understand you where you're like, hey, I know that, I guess really I know the capacity. Like, you know your own capacity and you know that small money helps small problems. Big money solves big problems. And I think like, I have such an appreciation for small community, especially the more people I've met. I'm like, no, the best people I know are also these guys that have been serving in the same place for 40 plus years.
Yeah.
And they've, the day in, day out, I'm talking to these people and I, it's the thankless, not sexy, like
those guys are awesome.
All you do is eat shit nonstop. And it's like over the course of your lifetime, you might impact 5,000 people, but those 5,000 people will remember you when you die. There's a big difference between that and the Philip Anthony Mitchell. And I think there's like, the unfortunate thing is my ego wants to be that. And I don't know, I do realize at the same time, like I want to be faithful and I want to remove the results away from it. Like my faithfulness isn't dictated transactionally based on what God blesses, but I do notice that when the people are most faithful, and when I say faithful, I mean like not only to just continue to speak something consistently, but also like full of faith that God's going to do something with it. That's the stuff that actually tends to like compound and scale over a course of like a decade. I have a temptation to be transactional, where it's like, God bless this so that I can do this. But I don't know, there's just something that doesn't sit right about that for me.
I agree. And I mean, if I worded it in that way, I worded it incorrectly. I look at it more of like the weight. Like not a lot of people can be in a position of like the Philip Anthony guy, for example. Dude, he probably is getting so much craziness in his life.
Yeah.
Like, can you imagine?
Yeah.
Like, oh my gosh.
Well,
like
let me ask you very bluntly, like, let's stack what you've accomplished in the last 5 years. And let's say that like with this mentality and what you're looking to build over the next 10, because you're not leaving, you're not stopping.
Oh no, this is going to be the biggest year I've ever had.
So, but like, let's just say like beyond this year, you're going to be 35, 36. What do you want to look back on and say like, this is what I've accomplished in that period of time?
More importantly than anything is being a good man, which is a derivative than being a good father, being a good husband. I don't want to be one of these guys that cheats on their wife just because they're rich, and I don't want to be that guy. I want to have a big family because I don't really have a family. It's just me, my mom, my brother. It's very small. And I want to be, when I say a good man, like who's somebody that you can call and they've got you no matter what it is. You know what I mean? Whether you need to talk to them or whether they need to like go beat somebody up with you or something, like that's a good man. Like I want to be a good man. I want to be a good friend. And I want to, again, back to the root cause, I want to like actually live as closely as I can to Christ while doing all of that, and not be a LARPer and not be like a hypocrite and one of those guys. Like I want to live in like truth. Like our world is descending into some crazy stuff right now. And maybe I'm like schizo, but
You're not.
dude, I really feel like some crazy thing is coming. Like I can just feel it like coming down the road. And I think there will come a time in our lifetimes where it's going to be very, very clear and evident of like, what side are you on? I don't know.
Who's an example of a good man to you?
My papa was a good man. Poor. His wife died of cancer when I was 2. There's these 2 guys that are mentors of mine down here. They run a company called Gale. They've raised like a ton of money. Very smart. They DM me on Twitter out of the blue, and we're like, hey, we really like you. You want to get dinner sometime? Just out of the blue, for no reason. I get dinner with these guys. They're now like amazing mentors of mine in software. Like I actually have Silicon Valley, like Peter Thiel funded founders as direct mentors. I text them all the time, like, hey, what do I do? Or, hey, you're thinking about raising money? Awesome. We're going to put you through basically Y Combinator and learn how to raise money and build a pitch deck. Like they taught me all of this. Why? There's nothing in it for them. Like their time is literally worth tens of thousands of dollars an hour, and they're just giving me their time for free. Like they're also God-fearing people. Like it's just goodness. Like I don't know how, like it's simple, you know? Like we all live on earth for a finite amount of time. At the end of the day, everything here doesn't really matter if you believe in like the bigger picture of things. So like if there's no meaning to life, the whole meaning is that you give it meaning. Like it's like a negative. So like being a good man is just leaving the world like better than you found it, like doing good to people.
I want to get specific though, because I think like when we talk about the concept of fulfillment, I want to be known as a good man, but I don't think that's enough to accomplish the things I want to accomplish. Like sometimes I have to set some kind of target, and it's usually not monetary, because I almost have to set some level of target to be like, identify the gap. Again, like what is the difference between where I operate now and the person I want to be, like in terms of, I think very specifically of like how much time I'm spending with my kids. And I'm like, I know what I'm capable of, and I know what it means to be a good dad in these categories. And I see the gap, and I'm like, okay, I just need to, there's so much I have to overcome here. Being a good husband, I think I identify the gap. There's so much where I'm like, I got to grow in this, but I want to get more specific with it in my own life. Cause it's like, yeah, I think when you talk about things the way you're talking about them, we're not talking about what the average person is probably consuming and thinking about in their day job of, I want to be a good person. You're talking about you want to accomplish some ridiculous goals. You're like, you're using language associated with like, I want to change the world. And Lord, if you bless me and allow me to do this, I want to be consistent with you in the process of it. What was that thing you decided that made you start this business that you said, okay, fulfillment's the thing that I really care about?
I think humans, like by default, we're creators of things. We're like many, which God is within us. I think that's a godly characteristic, which is creation. And so we, in our own way, get to create things. Obviously, not like not like God, but like we build things. We create. Like, what else do we do? If you really boil it down to what do humans do, we build things. We do nothing else. Even our tools to like hunt early on, you're building something from nothing. And so, like the info stuff's cool. Like we still have info. It's cool. It's fun now to talk about AI.
New info, right?
Yeah. We're about to go like balls to the wall with the AI stuff, like proper, like Luke is back, like proper hardcore, running ads, running webinars. But like even on top of that, building software to me has been so fun. I'm literally creating something that is in my brain that gives value to a person in such a capacity that they're willing to pay me every single month for it. Like in the 2026 world we live in, I think that's literally the most, other than art, that's the most pure form of creation that I think exists, because people vote with their dollars, because we live in this crazy like capitalistic, inflated, like late stage capitalism world. If they give you dollars, you're doing something right. Not always right, again, in the sense of like info and the craziness, but like most people that work hard for the money, if they're giving you their money, you're earning that. And so like Kendo, it's nerdy, I guess, if you get into it. It's like AI sales, training, management, software, right? What does that do for people? It saves them a shit ton of time. So now they have their time back. It makes them more money. So now they're more abundant. They can do more things. You know, it gives them more opportunity. Like it actually solves real world value to people. And right now, that's just what I'm building. It's like in sales, it aligned with what we've done in the past, whatever. The next thing I might build might be some consumer, like mass market thing. I don't know. But it's creation. Like I have an idea, I put it on code, my dev team builds it, and now voila, I have a thing that someone can use.
And you're not just vibe coding.
Oh no, this is legit. Like, dude, we've got like people paying us like $25,000 a month for one customer right now, like enterprise, like proper. Yeah, no, vibe coding's cool, but to do what we have at the scale we have and the complexity, I have a really autistic dev. Yeah.
So for you in building this, like, what's the difference between being a high ticket sales guy and being a tech founder?
What's Earth to Mars? You know, everything, bro. But again, a lot of I won't say high ticket sales, but I'll say info.
Yeah.
A lot of it translated over really well. I got really nasty at marketing and info. Whereas like, for example, my mentors, I showed them how to run a VSL like a couple months ago and they were literally mind blown.
Yeah.
They're like,
but
what?
To be fair though, you probably fit, like if you're talking about like your skill set and what it all matches up to be is like, if in a perfect world, you're a CMO of a really great tech product.
They said this themselves. They were like, you're probably going to have a really hard time getting investment because you're not a typical founder. Like they told me this. And they're like, you don't have a downside about it. Like you're just like very, like a lot of it, especially VC is very archetypal. So it's like, oh, you fit this. Oh, you went to Ivy League. Oh, you're this, whatever. Okay, we'll give you money. I'm like, not that, dude. I have no education. I say crazy shit online, whatever. But what people don't know is I'm like very, very, very creative. That is actually my best skill is I'm creative. Sales was learned. Charisma was learned. Marketing was learned. But like the real skill I have is like art and creation. Even since I was a little kid. Like I was always building, tinkering, making stuff. I can literally visualize something I think better than a lot of people and then make it real versus that's not as easy for other people. And so we had a lot of conversations when I was thinking about raising money and building a pitch deck. They're like, you got to lean into what you've done so far, which is like 0 to millions and whatever. Like how it was all creative.
Yeah.
Like you look at the branding for Closer Cartel back in the day, like super unique.
Yeah.
Like nothing looked like it. It was unique. It was creative. And that's always been, branding is not the edge obviously, but that's always been like the edge.
Let's get a little bit tactical. Because I think I appreciate that whole context from a story perspective, and I think there's a lot of cool ways to visualize it. Because I think like I do like hearing like the makeup and the transition of who you are as a person. I don't want to get like therapy with it, but there's so much there in terms of waking up spiritually, identifying like what you're shedding from a victim mentality perspective, and then also dealing with the responsibility of taking care of your mom and trying to be the opposite of your dad. And it's so funny that like you say it that way because I think you mentioned this before how like he was the example of what not to be, and everything you're describing of what a good man is that opposite. And you're trying to embrace the opposite of who he was. I want to lean into from a tactical like AI perspective. Every single person starting SaaS right now, and it's AI SaaS.
Yep.
What's the differentiator between the ones that are going to be successful and the ones that are not going to be successful?
So there's two ways to look at this. One is like the stuff we've already talked about, which is like the suffering and like basically the intangible base traits.
Yeah.
But I really, really, especially with AI, it's taste. That's what it is. Like you basically building will be democratized. Even it's already starting with like Claude Code and everything.
Yeah.
We still can't vibe code and Claude Code what we have. We still got to like manually do it. But let's fast forward 3 years. You can build anything you think of like that. So that's not the moat. The moat is taste. Right now, the moat is technically traffic and distribution. That's because all the AI tools haven't really gone that way yet. The second they do, like Manus just bought SimilarWeb or did a deal with them, right?
Yeah.
That's already happened. So distribution is not a moat. Building is not a moat. Intelligence is not even really a moat because you have the AI to do it for you. I think the real true moat at the end of the day is back to, like I said, it's like the creation. It's like you being like your own version of God, you being your own version of Da Vinci. You're an artist, you're Michelangelo. Like I can see this thing better than you can see it, and I can make it come into fruition better than you can. I think that is genuinely like the only thing going forward as tech gets better. That's the moat.
And I actually think the moat probably might be like the TAM of who you're selling to and your context into who that is, like from a service perspective, it's like, like if I had a really great understanding of roofers, then if I was really great at vibe coding even, like my ability to connect the dots from an automations perspective on what their actual needs are, as long as I can communicate it effectively to them.
That's for sure. I'm talking like super macro.
Yeah.
Like we've niched down, insurance is a massive client of ours. I had no idea. Like I did not predict this. Never did anything with insurance before. Our most like used customers are insurance sales teams because they have super high head count. Obviously we do per seat pricing, and they largely are not that good at sales compared to other teams. So it's like perfect fit, you know? So we are niching down into that.
How do you go about the process? I mean, so you've done mass market, enter funnel, sales, individual person, and that individual person is probably putting on a credit card that they can't afford. There's a different demographic versus enterprise sales.
Yeah, it's much different.
And you're selling to committees, and you're trying to. A lawyer has to say, yes, this contract looks good in order for us to sign this retainer with you guys. What did you do to get from that level? Because I think those are two different styles of businesses.
Yeah, I learned. Dude, I sat 2025, the first 6 months of the year, I've probably watched every single high-level VC podcast on YouTube. Like, I'm not joking, all of them. Every AI video, every VC video, because the VCs obviously, like I don't love private equity in that world. I think it's kind of bad in a sense, but they are the most intelligent people I've ever listened to in my life. Because again, they vote with their dollars, or dollars do the work for them, so that their entire discipline is like, how well do I know what I'm actually doing?
Yeah.
Like your expertise is the expertise, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Because they're not building anything. They're just like, that's going to win.
Yeah.
That's correct. Like that's a skill.
Do you feel like any level of imposter syndrome as like a founder in a state of like, you are the rookie in this? Like I think over the course of 10 years, you won't be. But
I just don't care. Like, dude, I'm thinking about
you're in some way you're competing with WAP. Let's just say that, for example. Those are like, and those guys are like, they're devs. And so from a perspective of young guy launching AI SaaS with the ability to do mass market marketing, like there's not a person you can't reach just because that's your skill set.
Yeah.
How do you compare? Is the separation in terms of like the product, you're like, I have a very clear perspective of who I'm selling to and how to sell to them? Like, is that the differentiator?
That's a big thing. Like I often say that. So I was a sales guy. I built the tool for me. When we managed sales teams, we had these problems. I built the tool for me. That's a massive edge. But I mean, dude, also from like a macro level, I just don't, like there are VC backed competitors of ours that I am going to fucking steamroll. Why? I know the product better than they do. Even if they have millions of dollars, your millions of dollars doesn't mean shit if you don't have taste. Like that's what I mean by taste, is like, I know what the product needs to be.
Yeah.
Because I was the customer. I had the problem. You're just a fucking engineer that's like, oh, here's a good market that you have no idea what you're doing. You have no idea. So like that's one. Two, I think is just adaptability. Dude, I did not know jack shit about code a year ago. I'm pretty comfortable hiring devs now. Like I can tell when a dev is good versus bad, even if I've nearnever coded before or had any idea.
I don't think you need to learn how to code in order to make a good software.
Yeah, no, you don't. Like look at Becker, for example. Yeah. Like Becker built a great software. I love Hyros. But I had to learn. Like, dude, I don't know. Like at the end of the day, like I have this problem when I do these podcasts and I give like advice, because I literally just decided I'm launching a software. Here's the idea. I don't know, fuck all. I didn't know how to, even enterprise sales is so much different than hiring. I can't hire my students. I have to hire enterprise. Yeah. It's different. It's way different. I was fine on the calls. Like my first couple of calls I sold.
But to be honest, you're the founder. You should be able to sell yourself.
Yeah. So like I can do it, but I had to learn enterprise sales. I had to learn enterprise sales cycles. I had to learn enterprise terminology. It's like a whole other world.
Because you're not corporate at all.
No, I've never had a job.
Yeah.
Like, dude, it was a whole new world. Yeah. But like my point being is like, I just decided I'm going this way and I'm just going to do it. Like,
it's the equivalent of going from IG to LinkedIn.
Yeah.
It's a different...
Oh, I hate LinkedIn. Yeah. I hate LinkedIn.
But it's like, that's the equivalent. Is like, you can't do IG best practices on a LinkedIn platform because it's a completely different market and completely different messaging.
Yep. So my strength, I know was, dude, we built it bootstrapped. Like we've raised no money.
Yeah.
and I burnt a lot of money last year.
Do you want to keep it bootstrap?
I think so. We will raise maybe if we hit like a really good number, and it's just, hey, here's 5% of the company with no voting rights, no preferred stock, no crazy like anything. Yeah, then for sure, because capital is just like more power. But like, I want to bootstrap it because I also think there's a strength in bootstrapping. If I'm competing, like there's this company called Hyperbound. I'll just name them. I'm going to eat their lunch. Okay, they've raised $12 million in the last round, Series B, YC company. I look at the product and I'm like, it's pretty. Like you have pretty good engineers. You still miss the point. Like you are literally the whole point.
What do they miss?
They're missing the point of the tool. Like for example, in a call review, we do call reviews for like a sales call. If I get really granular and I can actually accurately review a call every single time according to like how we should score them, like I want a call to go this way, how did this call go? You know what I'm saying? If I can accurately do that, that is very valuable for a sales team. Like very, very, very. They still, same with Gong, same with like all these big tools, they still are fluff. It's like bullshit. It's like I look at the call review and it's like, oh, you had a 4 out of 5 in this category. What the fuck does that mean? That doesn't tell me anything. I need to know, why did this call go wrong? Why did I mess up this objection? Why did I say this when I should have said this? Like I need to know granular details because it's just a feedback loop. It's education.
Is the AI, is your tool or tools in this market, are they good at collecting tone more than just like verbiage? Because I know there's a lot of transcribers.
But tonality's hard because tonality is a human thing.
Yeah.
AI can hear it and AI can replicate it with like the voice. Dude, our new voice update is insane. It sounds like a person.
Yeah, break down like what Kendo actually is. I want to like get clarity on this.
It started off as just an AI roleplay tool. So like if you want to get good at sales, what's the best way? Practice, repetition, right? Well, you have two options. You either roleplay with your buddy, which is not accurate. Like if you and I roleplay, you're not a real prospect. You know, it's not the same. Or I waste leads and I burn real deals. And so that's traditionally what sales teams have done for the last 50 years is like, I'm going to go burn leads to get good at sales. That's so stupid when you think about it because tech didn't exist. So we built AI roleplay. So I can now roleplay against a real conversation. It's AI. It's all AI, but it feels like a human. They have real objections like a human. I can program to work on whatever part of the call I want to work on. And so now I can train 10 times more without hiring another person, without doing anything. Like it's a very easy to use platform and I can customize it based on whatever our niche, offer, sales cycle, whatever it is on. So let's say I have a sales team, I have 500 people. Traditionally, we would have like little group coaching calls probably to like upskill them. Doesn't fucking work. You're not getting better. Now I can look at that 500 people and I have data in Kendo on what this person's good at, what this person's good at, what this person's bad at, the trend that's happening across every person down to the individual level. So now I can say, oh, Johnny, you're struggling with this consistently. Like it's literally costing us deals. Go role play with this bot till you get a X score on that. So now I can feedback loop way better. I can now also review all my calls automatically based on whatever custom scoring we want. So like an enterprise call is way different than a B2C like course call, right? Kendo scores both 100% accurately because it's custom scoring based on here's what I want my rep to do. Here's what they should do. Here's our framework or our script. And then the AI is basically just parsing the call and saying, did you do X? If not, here's why. And then we take it a step further, which is here's what you did. Here's why it's wrong. Here's what you should do instead. Here's a button to click to train and do what I just told you you're doing wrong. So it's like the perfect sales coach, manager, all in one. And then now this new update, obviously you have role play, you can upskill. We have call reviews, you know what's happening in your calls. But now it's like, let's automate this whole thing, which traditionally takes so much time, costs so much money. And so now we pull all of the data from your calls automatically that you traditionally don't have. Like you got X score on this, X score on this. Here's the summary. Here's your end of day report. Here's your end of call report. Here's the prospect quality score. Here's the AI. We have an AI sales manager now because we have all the data, right? From all your calls. I can literally go ask the sales manager, hey, in November, during this week, what was the most common objection we got? And it will literally accurately tell me because it pulls from our calls. Hey, this was the objection you got. Okay, how did we do against that? Oh, you did X% of 100.
At the end of the day, are you a data company? You're talking about sales training company, but like at the end of the day, like if you're housing that data, that's a ton of stuff. There's so many decisions that can be made and there's so many industry decisions that can be made based on that data.
You're smart. So my end goal with Kendo is we're going to replace sales reps. That's the end goal. The tech isn't good enough yet, but I knew this a year ago when we launched. We are segmenting and compiling all this data very cleanly so that when the tech is good enough, which by the way will literally just be one day, we'll wake up, an update will happen with something, it's good enough.
Yeah.
And the stigma of buying from an AI, people will actually prefer it, I think, because
I don't know.
Humans lie to you. Humans lie to you to sell you things. AI
lies to me too.
Well, AI does, but
AI
imagine
hallucinates like crazy. Dude.
Imagine you get on a call, and the AI is. This is 5 years from now. Okay, you get on a call. The AI is like, "Hey, I'm an AI. I'm trained to help you make the best decision and show you what our product or service does." And then you have a real conversation, and it's not bullshitting you, and it's very, "Hey, I don't know if this is the right fit for you, Mr. Prospect. Here's our options." I think people will buy from that more than Joe Schmo, who is like trying to like pull one over on you for commission.
Yeah.
Because the AI doesn't have an incentive. The incentive is actually just the way the tokens and the LLMs work, which is, does the user like the end result? That's like kind of what, like if you talk to GPT or whatever, there's no end result of commission for an AI. And so if you program it to like commission, then it will do that, right? It's like the early days of when they invented AI, like the guy that invented like Google's DeepMind originally. His some like foreign name, I can't remember. They basically programmed Pong, like the game. And the reward was every time you hit the ball correctly or you do this correctly, you get like a cookie basically in AI form. If you make the cookie commission, then it might be bad. It'll say whatever the fuck, because AI is agnostic of like morals. It'll say whatever it wants to get commission. But if you make the cookie customer satisfaction or something, then the cookie is like, oh, you're happy with this outcome of this call.
Well, so what are your thoughts on like the idea of, I'm so uneducated, so I want to preface that I'm a dumbass, but like Gallup is a data company. All that Gallup does is survey people, and then they go to other companies with those surveys and say, hey, here are industry trends. This is what the industry is saying. You use our stuff, use our SaaS, and after you completed it, you will be tested and graded based on the industry. So they have somewhat of a monopoly only because they've gathered the data from enough people to be able to have enough of a data set to say this is what the industry standard is. I don't know if Salesforce is doing that. I don't know. Is essentially, are you collecting the data so that you could go and say, hey, I can tell you whether your team is in this percentage or this percentage, and that itself being the selling point of how valuable your tool is?
Well, that's an aspect. Like we guarantee results because I know for a fact, because it's not rocket science. If you train, like I had a sales call yesterday. I'm like, hey, it's an insurance team from Globe Life. I'm like, hey, how many hours do you train one-on-one? I don't know, probably an hour. If you trained 10 hours, how much more money would you make? Probably a lot. It's not rocket science.
Yeah.
So like, yes, but I can already guess that just based on like, I know my customer or whatever. But yeah, like that is the direction where like we probably will go.
There's so much value in it. Like all the companies I've been talking to some guys recently, and they're like scaling some stuff, and they're selling the product, and they're like stoked about the product, and they're pushing the product, and I'm like, this is a cool product. And they're like, but at the end of the day, like 10 years from now, I want to have the most amount of data in relation to this subset of people because the amount of ways we can monetize that amount of information. Yes, but even
that is not a moat, bro. I saw a company yesterday. It's the first one I've seen. They did a launch video on Twitter. Lets consumers sell them their data willingly. So not social media. It's like, I'm downloading this app and saying, here's my data. What's the market rate? Like legit. That's what's going to be happening. So like, is data really a moat? I don't think so. So like for us, the data is basically just going to be able to train the AI and say, hey, we have millions of sales calls processed.
Yeah.
Here's the flow. Here's what happens when you say this. Like all it is like machine learning, like predictions, right?
Yeah.
With enough calls, which by the way, I could do this right now. It's just not perfect yet.
Yeah.
Because if you can role play and it acts like a prospect, it can also sell. It's the same thing. You just flip the switch. And
might take 2 years.
I think less.
You think so?
Dude, the advancement from January to December last year, that was my first real year where I was like obsessed with AI, was night and day. Like GPT 4.1 to Opus 4.5.
Yeah.
Claude Code. 4.5 looks like AGI.
Yeah.
Like it's scary.
You know what's so funny is every other month it's someone else too. It's like 3 months ago was Manus. Then it was Gemini.
And now Meta has Manus.
And Meta just bought Manus, yeah. And I'm still using it wrong because they were talking about using it for like ads. I don't use it for ad creative, which is like I use it for visual creative, and it's basically I use it with probably how I should be using Claude anyways. But I guess what's the question I have is the info community, your ability to go from nothing to becoming this legitimate tech startup founder.
Thanks, man.
No, but like there's like, first off, you're admitting like, okay, I'm doing this. You're transitioning all these skills and knowledge base of one thing and being like, okay, this is the best way I can help, and it's for me and it's my product. Do you think that is unattainable for the average person? Like the ability to just like, hey, in like a year or two, be an expert enough to be able to do this?
Probably. And that's I've like just the wiser I become, the more I'm like, how lucky am I? And like if you're listening to this podcast, you're probably capable of doing this. But like the average person, if we're talking about the actual average person, they're fucked, bro. Like the AI is so scary for them, unfortunately, and I feel for them. But like I don't, whether this sounds insensitive or not, I don't play or use the frames that I think or the actions for the average person. It's like I want to be like 1% of the 1% of the 1%. You know, because otherwise, what are you doing? Like, oh, I'm better than a McDonald's worker. Like, dude, shut up. You know, like, oh, you're a brokey. Like, okay, congrats, bro.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen real money? Like, you're a brokey. Like, I don't like thinking like that. But can the average person do this? Probably not. That's just, I don't know. I think you can do anything you set your mind to, but also I know a lot of people that just can't. And I think that's genetic, unfortunately. I think you're predisposed to a lot of certain traits. Like IQ is largely genetic. This is the real red or black pill. You know that you're born with like 90% of the potential capacity you will ever have. The rest of it is the 10% of what you can attain, like from your actions. 90% is hereditary from your mother, largely. So like, you can be born. This is kind of fucked up.
What data point is he coming? Like what?
Dude, this is the actual science, not the science that they changed to make everyone feel good about themselves. Like,
that's crazy. You're saying 90% of who we are is always going to be the same thing.
Yes.
Does that mean the 10% capacity that we have is that the bigger 10% like that? Because I feel like the difference between who I am now versus who I was 5 years ago is like very massive.
Yeah. But you had that potential when you were born, is what I'm saying. Like, and this isn't cope for anything. Like, you still go balls to the wall with everything you do and try to squeeze the most out. But like, for example, someone could be born with this max capacity, and then the same person the same day could be born with this much. And it's no fault of the other person. It's just literally how science works. Not the bullshit science, the real science, like biological, you know.
I think I don't want to think that because I want to think that like I haven't tapped into it.
Well, you probably haven't. Like, it's not easy to tap into the full potential.
How do you do that?
Through everything we've talked about today. It's like you actually work as hard as you can. You do the right things. You have the right habit. Like there's like this combination of actions and habits that like make up success. Like, I eat the right things. I'm not poisoning myself. Okay, check. I'm getting the right amount of sleep. Okay, check. I'm healthy. Okay, check. That's prerequisite. Now I have the potential to maybe like reach my capacity, you know? But if you don't do those things, you can't. Like, we had a conversation with my friend Brandon in Colorado last week. He's a little bit autistic. He's very intelligent. So he is the dev for Sebastian's startup, which is absolutely crushing. Like, he put a YouTube video out so I can say their revenue numbers. They're like $600K a month. Like, insane. Makes me feel poor. And Brandon is like super smart, but he's like very unique personality. And I'm like sitting looking at this fireplace. He's like, oh, I have an idea. And we're like, what? He's like, what if there was an algorithm I could make that could calculate like the strengths that I have and then the potential risk of different things, and it could basically like extrapolate what I should do in life to be the most successful. And we're like, well, Brandon, that's literally just like hard work and doing the right thing. And we had an hour-long conversation, Brett Malinowski, Sebastian, me, and Brandon, about this. He couldn't grasp what we were saying. And Brett was basically like, you idiot. Like, And ultimately, it led to like a more religious conversation. Ultimately, which was like mastering your mind and the subconscious mind and all that, which is the base default of all that. But we're like, Brandon, you eat like shit. You don't sleep. You do drugs. Like, fix that. There's a 50% increase. You're looking for the 2% increase when in reality, like, dude, just stop eating goy slop, and you're at like 50%. Like, congrats. And it reminds me of that. I think divinely you can do anything. Divine intervention does happen. But I think from a default, worldly, earthly level, sometimes you're just cooked when you're born.
I actually don't mind that. I think it's okay for someone to hear, hey, you're not that special. Because I think the right person will hear that and be like, fuck you.
I prefer truth over like sugarcoating it.
Paint me the picture 5 years from now. You're turning 30.
Oh boy.
What is your life?
I've sold Kendo.
For how much?
My personal goal in life monetarily is I want to sell a company for like $100 million.
Okay.
After that, I don't care about money, because I think you go for $1 billion, you sell your soul. I think $100 million, you're just really fucking good at what you do. Like, I think that's the split.
The one I heard was you want to net 20 million.
20 is a lot.
So like if you can net 20 million, that's like you live off a 3% rule, where essentially you're living off of $600K a year and you're never having to work a day of your life.
You're rich forever at that point. So yeah, I want 100. Would I be living with 20? Yeah, for sure. But like 100 is, again, why did I get out of one business that's making money to go to a harder business?
Yeah.
Is I love the challenge. Like, and if I'm not fulfilled working, I'd rather just like die, to be honest. Like, what's the point? So 100 million. Hopefully by then I found my wife. Dude, if I don't find a wife by 30, I'm like cooked.
Is it hard to find a girl right now?
Dude, I live in Miami. Are you kidding me? And I know there's like
I was talking to somebody about this last night. He was like, dude, I'll never date a girl from here.
Dude, people will like cope you and be like, oh, bro, there's good girls everywhere. Shut up. You have never been here. This is not the place. So no, hopefully I found my wife by then.
You have to move. Where are you going to move?
I don't know, bro. I've thought, like, if I leave Miami, where would I go in the U.S.? Everywhere else sucks, in my opinion.
People go to Austin. People like Austin.
I went to Austin. I'm like, it's like wannabe Miami. Like, it's not, it wasn't anything special to me.
Yeah.
I don't know, dude. I have no idea where to go. So yeah, 100 million.
Wife.
I'd like to have kids by then, to be honest, because I don't want to be like an old man and have kids. I want to be like, my son just turned 18 and I'm like 40 and I can like kick his ass, you know?
Yeah, 2 years to find wife
whatever
and
that age is. And then obviously all the other little things, like, am I a good person? Did I get here by doing the right things? Am I proud of what I've done? Am I a good example for people?
What do you think it's going to require of you to get to those things? I think those are. I mean, every single one of those is like, yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah.
I want to see you do that. What is it going to require from you?
100 million is $10 million a year, ARR. That's, I'm so bad at math. This is 500x where we're at roughly or something from now. It's a lot. I think we had the vehicle though. I really do. Like my last software company, the model sucked and I just didn't know what I was doing. But this one, the problem's big enough. The TAM is big enough. People love the tool already. They love paying a shit ton of money for it. Like, my biggest customer literally did an interview with me and is like, yeah, I don't even notice this 25 grand leave my bank account every month because I love the tool. Like, that's great. Let me find 100 more of you. Like, we're rich. So yeah, 10 million ARR is what I have to do a year to sell for that. The wife, I just got to keep working on myself to become a man worthy of getting the kind of girl.
I think you are. I think you just don't have the time.
No, dude, I always think I can be better. You know, I'm so, if you heard the dude in my head, he's an asshole. I'm so critical of myself. Like, he's a dickhead all the time. And so I'm like, am I worthy of getting the quality of girl that I want?
What does that mean? I talked to some guys, single guys, it's so interesting. Like, I've talked to some guys that are married. There's a difference between the guys that are looking for their wife while they're building it versus the one they found their wife after they built it. So like, all of them said that one was easier because
the after or the during?
After.
Yeah.
It was easier after you've already done stuff, after you've already sold stuff, because not that you can love bomb, but like, you're very defined of, I'm looking for a cheerleader and a partner in other categories, but I don't need someone that's going to help me or tolerate my business. Like you've already accomplished what you're trying to accomplish. And so there's no friction in the, like, they're not frustrated by how much time you're committing to doing the things you want to do. Right. Like,
yeah, that is a problem. Cause like I like 2025, I worked a lot, dude. I worked more hours last year than I ever have in my life. Like I'm not joking. There's weeks at a time where I didn't leave my apartment. Like didn't leave. I bought that, dude, I've drove that BMW probably like 20 times ever. Like it has like no miles on it because I just don't leave my house. I just work.
So who is she?
Dude, I'm looking for a unicorn is my problem.
What's
like
your deal?
I think because of the creativeness of which I like, just my brain is by default. She's got to be beautiful. I've tried to do the like nice girl that just I don't truly believe is like, and this sounds so bad. I know how bad this sounds, but like I have to have a girl that looks like art. Because it's just I don't know how to explain it.
Doesn't sound like a lot of plastic either.
Not even not plastic. None of the fake bullshit. I mean, like naturally, like has to be beautiful, and everyone says that. But like somebody said this to me as a joke one time. They're like, dude, you have fumbled girls that men like will like go to war for on purpose. And I'm like, yeah, I just don't care. Like I don't care how hot they are. Secondly, if they're just bad people, I don't care. So I'm looking for a unicorn, bro. I've got to find, you got to be stunning. You got to be a good God-fearing woman. None of this boss babe bullshit, modern girl, whatever. Not dealing with that.
Do you see an example of a marriage that you like?
I don't know very many married people. It's a problem. Like, dude, I know like 3. I know a lot of people. Seb, Joel. I literally don't know anybody else that's married that's like in my life. That's bad.
That's not bad. I mean, I think it's a season of life too. It's okay. Like when we were dating, before we got married, we didn't have many married friends, and then we were the first to get married. And then we were the first to have kids in our friend group, and then
how old are your kids?
I got a 6-year-old, I got a 3-year-old, and a 6-month-old.
Damn, you got kids.
I got 3. Yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah,
that's super awesome.
Yeah,
what's it like being a dad? Is it everything that
It's the greatest thing. Well, so like you talk about how I was talking to people about their motivation levels and like the responsibility aspect. And so it sounds like a lot of the stuff that you adopted very early was because of your mom. All that stuff, I didn't have it until I had my kid. So like my family life was great. I grew up like my dad was a pastor. I started making more money than him when I was 18 years old. Nice. But like he was a good man and we had a good family and we lived a good life. Like there was no poverty or anything like that. So there's no like challenge. And I think it wasn't until like even after getting married, it wasn't like there was a challenge in my life. And then we had our first kid, and so that woke me up a little bit of being like, oh, like we had our first kid, and then I realized I needed to like how much I was willing to sacrifice and how fast I was willing to sacrifice and how hard I was willing to work. And then we had our second kid, and that went like for some reason 10 times more. Like it was 10 times like I was more aggressive of I have to build the life that they deserve. And the urgency for how fast that had to go was much more aggressive. And that's only increased with kid number 3. I want to be done by the time I'm 30. I want to be done having kids. I don't know if that's going to work out. Like we could be either it could be that or like we're going to be the family with like 6 kids, which I don't want to be. But like
be fruitful and multiply, man.
And they're so like anyone that says it's the best is underselling it. It is worth like all the motivation that comes with it. Like I remember I was in Brooklyn when I was walking down, like this morning, walking down the street, see someone, pushing their kid in the stroller. I'm just like, you just smile at them. You just look at them and you're just like, man, I get it. Like you see it and you're like, man, that it is worth living for. And I could, if I'm gone from them for 24 hours, it feels like that's too much. So I don't know if I can undersell it like that, but like you'll never see my kids online. I'll never post about them. And I'm just going to if they're going to get everything I got. And anytime I feel depressed is because I'm like aware that I'm not, like I went to like even being like spending time with a Jeremy Haynes' mastermind. It's like, oh, I'm aware of the gap between what they deserve and what I'm giving them. And it's like, the goal was American dream. And it's like, nope, that's no longer the goal. And it's not like they don't need money. My wife is very minimalistic. She's very red pill. and like way more than me. And I'm like, she doesn't ask for much, but I'm like, oh, the gap between what I can give you, like that 10%, it's like so much more. So I don't know. I think if you had married friends, like it'd probably push you to be like, I need to do this faster.
Well, Seb did for sure.
Yeah.
Like he was talking about his marriage this week. He was like, his best thing ever. His wife's awesome. Like that was the first wedding I've ever been to. I've been to like 50 funerals, never been to a wedding. And it was like beautiful. And I was like, damn, this is awesome. I've literally never seen a wedding, bro. I've never seen people get married. Like I just saw a bunch of ugly, I have like a Harry Potter childhood, like just bad. Yeah. Everyone dies, everything's bad, like it sucks. It's literally what it was. And so I was like, wow, this is awesome. There's a whole other side of life.
Yeah.
It's like beautiful. And it very, very hit that button. It was like, you need to do this. Because I can't imagine, bro, being like 30, 35, and doing the whole like money online business thing. Like, there's no way. There's no way.
You're not running out of time though. I just want to make sure you know that.
Yeah.
You're not.
Dude, I feel like time has sped up so much. 2025 went like that.
I know.
Fastest year of my life.
Yeah.
By far.
But like, I don't know, dude. The amount of cycles you have, like I'm just saying like, I like asking the question of like who you're going to be when you're 30 or when you're 35, because it's like, I don't want to get into the Gary Vee aspect of things, but it's like, dude, the levels of which you're ahead is massive. And if this is a season of like, you're taking care of that $100 million thing, like I think Sam Parr kind of did that. He wanted to be like, he wanted to make his 20 million before he turned 30. Cole Gordon just found his wife, just did. And he's mid 30s. And so like, there's so many guys where it's like, once you figure out this one piece of your life and you figure out who you are, and then you make peace with it. Like, it sounds like you're still in that process of making peace with it. But I just want to tell you, like, I respect you so much, because I think, like, first off, what is very clear in this conversation is your level of honesty, which is something that I didn't know about you, and I wouldn't have known about you, but based off of like Twitter. Like, if I see you on Money Twitter, if I saw you over the years on Money Twitter, it's like, I just don't even know who you are, what you're about. And I think what you've shown is who you are and what you're about. And I just want to, I want to commend you for that, because I think like I would not bet against you. And it's because of the makeup of like your tolerance for hardship and your tolerance to push yourself. And I think your reasons why seem to be genuinely really good. And I'm really excited because I think there's going to be another unlock of like the fulfillment aspect once that macro expands, and maybe even like once you're able to dedicate it towards a person or a family, and the macro of who you are as a man becomes like, oh, not only am I trying to be a good man, but I'm a man that leads this, and I want to be an example to all the men that are also leading stuff. I'm really excited for that, because I think you're going to figure the money stuff out easily. That's not like that stuff comes naturally to you. You're going to make a ridiculous amount of money for like the rest of your life. Yeah, the past 2 years might have been awful, but like I love that you're like waking up to this new season of life of who you want to be. And I don't know. I'm just, as a fan, I just want to say like I'm really looking forward to like you documenting the process of that. And I think you're going to get it. Like,
thank you, bro.
I don't like the wife and kids aspect could be really cool. I do think that's going to unlock something for you.
Yeah.
Once it happens, but you don't need it to do the things you want to do. I just think the fulfillment side of it, I almost think you're just starting that.
It's been, dude, it feels like a new life, to be honest. It's like when you get baptized, like you're now like a new person. I felt that just in like let's just like say outside of like the religious aspect, it's what it's felt like. It's like a new person, a new everything, to be honest, which is a lot. But those really kind words. I really appreciate it.
Yeah. Well, thank you for this. Thanks for the time.
Dude, you got the same thing. Like I told you, I'm saying this on the record when this is like a massive podcast, you are like a David Senra-esque podcast guy.
Thank you.
I really think you are.
That means
like,
a lot.
Bro, you guys watching this podcast don't know. No one does this. Like, there's lights. Did you hang these?
No.
Oh, okay. Well, there's lights and there's like 18 cameras and like a nice setup.
Yeah,
like you're doing really well. Yeah. I saw your early podcasts I didn't even know who you were. And I was like, this is dope. And didn't I message you and was like, this podcast is awesome?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You were on my list.
It was cool.
Yeah.
It was super cool.
Thanks,
so,
bro.
Thank you, bro.
Appreciate you.
Appreciate you too.
Thanks, bro.